Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Hobby Dude 007 channel. Big question going around right now. What's your holy grail? What is that elusive kit or kits that you just can't seem to find but you really would like to have? Well, I have a couple of them. Let me tell you about them. Okay, holy grails. Well, for me, I've always wanted to have some of my favorite cars that I have owned and driven on the street as shelf models. And I've been able to find a good many of those. And there's two that have eluded me. I just am not in the right place at the right time. I think they're still somewhat attainable. And the other two are old MPC show rods that I built as a kid. And if I can find these, I'm sure they're going to be pricey. But the thing is, with every one of these four, it's not something I want to collect. I want to build them. So let me turn the camera around. I'll start showing you some of the stuff that is in my list of grails. Okay guys, I decided to share with you some of the holy grails that I've actually found, as well as the ones I'm still in search of. This is my very first car, a 1965 Mercury Comet, and great memories from high school and later after that, a lot later actually, on this car just up until 10 or 12 years ago. This is after I had it repainted freshly. This was a gift from my grandfather on my, I think it was 15th birthday. 65 Mercury Comet with 289, 3 on the tree, which I moved that shifter from the column to the floor. And peppy little car, lightweight. It was a hoss, but one of my favorites. And of course, Mobius came out with a 65 Comet. So there you go, got that one. This one's a little different. This was my 1972 Gran Torino. This was my second car. I had that Comet for a long time before I even wanted to get another car, but I saw this 72 and it was a deal that I couldn't pass up. I think it was like $1,800. Had a 302 in it, and it was a pretty stout little car too. Well, I always wanted to do a model of it, and the only one available in more of a showroom stock type was the Johan Gran Torino, and it was a snap kit, which is fine because these are just going to be shelf models. But I've just never been at the right show at the right time and been able to find one of these things, but I will. And next up is one of my all-time favorites, this 1972 Dodge Charger. All-time favorite, Petty Blue, and this car sits in a garage of my very best friend right now over in Greenville, South Carolina, is in his garage. The engine's gone. Gee, I don't know how that could happen, not as a young guy anyway. But as you see here, good-looking car, and yes, that is Hobby Dude with the trophy sitting in the doorway there. Larry and I have had a lot of fun with that car. There's a few of those that were available. This particular kit, it was the Rod Shop version, which I could make changes to that, no big deal. But you noticed the 5 vents in the door. Well, I call them vents, but the indentations in the door. This was the only kit that I was aware of that had them, other than a Palmer. I think it was a 32nd scale, and of course there were some promos around too. And I would take any of those if I could get my hands on them, but those have eluded me. That kit has eluded me as well, but I'm sure I'll eventually, and I haven't really dug into it, but I'm sure I can probably come up with that one somewhere. Another car that I was very fond of was this 1974 Maverick. Now this thing, believe it or not, did not have a V8. It had when I got it, it had a hopped up straight 6, 3 on the column, and this thing would scat. And of course I was able to come across a couple of the old Johans that you could build stock, so yay for that. I was able to come across those. And next was my 1970 Mustang convertible. I took this picture in the backyard of my grandparents' farm many years ago. I bought this car for like $3,100, and it was primo. Paint was original. It had been garaged and taken care of. It was totally showroom stock. 302, the stock hubcaps, canary yellow. This thing, and I did not rod it up. I left it totally showroom stock. The only thing I ever did to that car was I had to put a new top motor in it for the convertible top to go up and down. But it was just absolutely one of my all-time favorites. And of course, when family time comes along, you know, you've got to grow up and get the family car and all that stuff. So I sold this for 5 times what I paid for it, and it was still in just as great a shape. I had kept it up and tarped and in the garage of our first house after that. But, and you know, it's amazing we miss these things. But you know what? I was able to find a resin body in the mid to late 80s at a show. I have no clue who made it. I still have it. I just haven't built this one yet. And this is not all the cars that I like. These are the ones that I've had a little trouble finding, but I've ended up finding a lot of them. And of course, what I drive today is my '01 Silverado 454, and she's low slung, and I love this truck. I really do. And of course, the 99 Silverado, same basic body style, nose and all that stuff, the short bed. And just have to go back. I've already marked it, and where I'm going to have to shorten the cab, the interior and chassis a little bit. It really isn't going to be that big a deal, I don't think. But love that truck, and I probably don't know that I ever will get rid of it. And lastly, in my holy grails are 2 MPC show rods that I had and built as a kid, and I always just, something about them, I have a desire to build these things again. And the first one is the telephone booth. This was a Carl Casper custom, and here it is in a museum. And you see, they've taken an old telephone booth. Some of you young guys may not know what a telephone booth is, but this is where you dropped a dime on somebody. But has a blown engine, or excuse me, fuel injected engine. It's unique to have a telephone booth sitting on a T, but. And then, of course, here's the model kit from MPC. I built one of these, like I said, when I was a kid, and I painted it blue after a blue phone booth in our neighborhood, right beside a little store. And the other one was probably the most unique, and I haven't been able to find one of these, not even at a show or online or anything else. But this was a George Barris custom called the Bed Buggy. They took the brass foot and headboard, put a mattress in it, put a gas pedal, steering mechanism, shifter, Volkswagen engine in the back. You see in the picture here, you've got the sand tires, sand paddles, and this was just a cool thing. And even the model kit had the head and footboard were in the brass finish. The blanket on the bed was actually a peel and sticker type thing, and it matched that perfectly, like a leopard skin kind of with the stripes and stuff in it. It was really just unique. I wouldn't say this is a gorgeous car, not by any means, but it's unique. And I always thought he made a hot rod out of a bed. Well, I thought that was pretty cool. Here's a look too at that Volkswagen engine. And kind of cool, huh? Well, I guess that's to our individual tastes. And I love how the brake lights are those red lanterns in the back. And of course, here's a look at the MPC Bed Buggy model kit. And those two, the telephone booth and the Bed Buggy, have been the most elusive. But these are ones that I would actually go back and build. I just think they're really, really unique. Well, that, guys, is my holy grail list. So, hey, if you run across one of these by any chance, let me know where you see it. I'll go check it out. Like I said, these last two probably are pretty pricey, but I'd love to see them anyway, again, just for the nostalgia end of it. Well, guys, thanks so much for hanging around and letting me share this with you. If you're not a subscriber, head over, hit that subscription button, the notification bell, so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. The next one will be about the 70 Roadrunner. I'm almost finished with it. Well, not the car, but this next stage video. And if you haven't visited the Teespring store, head over there. There's plenty of great new stuff in the Teespring store, sweatshirts, some new stickers, that kind of stuff too. So head on over and check that out as well. Guys, God bless. Have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.